East Tennessee Children's Hospital, we know that time is precious, but some times are better than others. That's why we have 4 urgent care facilities with pediatric experts ready to get you back to better in no time.
Well, 7:04 Saturday morning. Good morning, ladies. I see 2 people on here, at least in the chat anyways. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you this morning? Hopefully you have a great day today. Hopefully you have something great planned today. Grab a cup of coffee, or rather this morning, it's so warm outside. Grab a cup of maybe iced coffee this morning. I've got hot coffee, but it is warm outside for sure. Get the pollen gone, she says Kimberly. Yes, we've got some incredible pollen that just continues to hang out with us here. And it's only going to get worse as the trees continue to bloom. Now, we got a lot of activities going on this weekend. We're going to highlight that in a lot more detail. We've got the marathon tomorrow, but we've also got a storm system that's going to be approaching the area and moving on through. Before we get to anything else, I want to start you off with a cool time lapse from Madisonville, KMNV, Monroe County Airport yesterday. This is a time lapse from sunrise to sunset yesterday. Had some high-level clouds, a gorgeous day, lots of general aviators out there enjoying the weather, and then the clouds kind of worked their way back in. We had a batch of clouds hanging out with us, fair weather cumulus clouds, but still didn't stop any of those general aviators yesterday. And look at that, sunshine, some jet contrails up above. Time lapses really do such a great thing of helping us to understand how the weather really works and operates. And you can see how we've had a cloud deck at about 5,000 feet at times, and that's pretty much going to be the story today. Actually, I think we're going to have quite a bit of sunshine and a gorgeous sunset yesterday evening, which, by the way, makes for an amazing sunrise this morning. Now that it's 7 o'clock, sun's coming up a little bit earlier. Noticed that when I took the kids off to the bus stop yesterday. The sun was coming up. There we go. Got somebody getting ready to take off. A nice sunrise flight here this morning. Or maybe they got business meetings or just traveling to the beach. Who knows where that person's going, but that's what's really cool about the camera. And you can capture these cameras alive online at easttnweather.com. I've got time lapses there as well, or you can find them on the East Tennessee Weather app. So you can just go out and watch these aviators fly on a beautiful sunny day like it's going to be here for the day today. All right, let's go ahead and take you to the big picture because these poor folks over into West Tennessee just cannot get a break. West Tennessee, the Mississippi River Valley, day after day after day. Severe weather, heavy rain, flooding, flash flooding. It's been a mess. And we even had some tornado warnings early this morning just outside of Jackson, Tennessee, and also just to the west of Nashville. Now, this storm system's not moving its way through our area, through our area today. It's actually coming through tomorrow, and it is going to bring us heavy rainfall. So most of the activity stays off to our north throughout the day today. Showers and thunderstorms, if you have travel plans over into Middle Tennessee, they're under a risk for severe storms. Now, we are still technically, just like we were yesterday, probably not going to see much activity. If we do see anything at all, it's probably across the northern plateau, Tennessee-Kentucky border. But the Futurecast model's really not showing a whole lot of activity today because everything's kind of lifting its way northward. But we still have that southerly, southwesterly fetch of moisture. And as we heat up the atmosphere, which, by the way, we're going to have near record high temperatures here today as well. All right, so let's talk about those weather headlines. Morning clouds give way to afternoon sunshine. It's going to be breezy and quote-unquote hot. It is definitely hot. We're trending about 20 degrees above average. And again, like I said, near record highs, which we'll talk about with your 7-day forecast. We've got showers and thunderstorms moving in tomorrow, isolated strong to severe storms, and heavy rain. And then colder air starts to swing its way back into the area as we get into our Monday, Tuesday. A big drop in those temperatures. We're going to drop temps from what we will experience today into Monday about 30 degrees. Which is trending about 10 degrees below average for this time of the year. So it's going to be a shock to the system once again as we get into our Monday and Tuesday. Of course, you can always find out more details with the East Tennessee Weather app or online at easttnweather.com. All right, let's get you out the door here this morning. If you have soccer games, baseball games, if you have outdoor events, or a lot of folks are going to be heading down to the Chalk Walk in downtown Knoxville if you're happen to do that. We've got a doubleheader baseball game here today. And of course, we got the marathon tomorrow and a lot of other activities. If you have any sort of events going on in your community, you can chime in on Facebook or YouTube, by the way, so I know exactly what's going on. And we'll highlight some other events going on around East Tennessee and Knoxville here for the day today. But again, that's just Knoxville. You realize I cover all of East Tennessee, and a lot of folks join us from all over East Tennessee, so keep that in mind. If you have events going on in your community, make sure you highlight that in the chat. Look at these temperatures. Again, summer-like weather here this morning. Temps are in the 60s and 70s, which is where we were yesterday, and so not much of a change in those temperatures this morning. Good morning. It was 84 degrees in Ringgold, Georgia yesterday. Toasty. And we had record highs in all locations yesterday, by the way. If you saw my evening broadcast, I highlighted that. All right, here the wind is going to be with us. Good kite flying day. Looking for something to do for the kids. Just throwing that out there. I don't see too many people fly kites anymore these days. But if you do, or if you don't have a kite, of course, you can find some at the big box stores. But if you want to support a local store, Hobbytown in Turkey Creek in West Knoxville, great place, great kites. It's for hobbyists. It's got a lot of cool stuff there. I actually got to take my kid's RC car back there and get it fixed because it broke again. Those RC cars break quite often. All right, lunchtime temperatures are going to be in the 70s and 80s. So if you're going to be out and about, grab yourself a patio. We've got great restaurants in town. We've got great patios. Now, the wind's going to be with us again, so probably have to put your napkin in your lap or underneath your drink or your plate. Maybe under even the menu because it's going to be it's going to be gusty. But great lunchtime to get outside and enjoy. Great day for soccer games and baseball games. Look at these high temperatures. Again, near records. All right, so the records for the day today. Let me pull out my cheat sheet here. I can't memorize everything. Chattanooga's record high is 89. Anybody know the date on that one? Just a couple of years ago, actually. Do you remember 2023? It was hot. We hit 89 in Chattanooga 2023. That was the record high. The McGee-Tyson Airport, Knoxville, 89, also set back in 2023. Tri-Cities was 86, so Tri-Cities forecasting about 86 today. So we could tie the record there. That was also set back in 2023. And Oak Ridge, 88 is the record high for this date in history. We're forecasting about 85. That record also set back in 2023. So this date in history in 2023 was a hot one. All right, let's get you into the evening if you have any sort of evening plans. All right, so Felicia is going to be heading to Marble Springs State Historic Site for the craft show. It's 10 to 4. She says, come see her. And if you see her, go say hi to Felicia. She's always on the broadcast this morning. Steven Snyder joining us from Houston this morning. What's up, Houston? Ooh, Houston's hot. My brother and sister-in-law live, just north of Houston. I can't remember off the top of my head the town. But anyways, all right, this evening's going to be great. Look at that. 6 o'clock tonight, we're at 85, 81 degrees by 8 o'clock tonight. So a nice evening to do some grilling in the backyard, maybe some barbecuing. Today's going to be a great day to do some yard cleanup. That's what the Witchers are doing. We're doing our spring outdoor cleaning today. That's going to be fun, says nobody ever. Not really looking forward to that, but it's got to be done. And once it's done, it looks good, right? Here's your future cast. I'm going to pick up our timeline at 7 o'clock here tonight. Nothing really to show you today. Again, can't rule out a stray shower or thunderstorm. Now, overnight tonight, here comes our storm system. So the storm that's been plaguing the Mississippi River Valley is finally on the move. Slowly but surely. So not a ton of activity for most areas. So by sunrise tomorrow morning, there's 7 o'clock sunrise. If you're heading off to church, if you're heading off to the marathon tomorrow morning, it should be fine. Should be fine. Rainfall amounts through the overnight hours, basically along and north of Interstate 40 with the best potential across northern Fentress, Scott, and probably Campbell and Claiborne County, maybe Cumberland County as well. So the northwestern sections of East Tennessee, if you were to cross-section it from I-40 and Interstate 75, the northwestern section has the best chance or opportunity at this point in the game because, well, we do have a chance for some strong thunderstorms. Probably not going to see a ton through the overnight hours. Morning low temperatures Saturday, great. A little bit on the warm side for runners for the marathon. I know you want it like in the 50s, low 50s with low humidity. It's probably some of the best running weather, but 60s aren't bad, although the humidity is going to be up, so the sweat factor obviously goes up. But then again, if you're running a marathon, the sweat factor goes up anyways, right? Who doesn't sweat when running a marathon? And I'm not going to run a marathon. All right, severe weather outlook. So today and tomorrow, today it's across the Cumberland Plateau like it has been over the last couple of days. Tomorrow, we have a level 1, level 2 risk for severe storms. Level 2 closer to Cleveland, Bradley, and Polk counties. Southern Monroe County, near Chattanooga as well. Everybody else under a level 1 risk. That just means isolated in nature. We could see a couple of isolated strong thunderstorms. So let me break that down. What kind of storm threats are we talking about? So the main threat's going to be damaging wind. And the secondary threat's going to be basically, let's just say the main threat's going to be isolated flooding and flash flooding concerns. The secondary is going to be damaging wind gusts because we are going to see heavy rain. Not necessarily guaranteed that we're going to see storms that could produce some damaging wind. So I'm going to put that in the medium category. Low category for tornadoes and hail. Not likely for tornadoes. We really don't have a lot of spin in the atmosphere. Actually, it's more of a straight line wind gust kind of event. So that's good news to pass along, although we don't want straight line winds either way you look at it. And then low potential for hail. It's possible we could see some hail because we have some colder air loft that's going to start to swing its way on through, but it really reinforces itself as we get into Monday, Tuesday, that colder air aloft. All right, so let's pick up our future cast, 7 o'clock Sunday morning. Time everything out for you. From sunrise to noon, that's when conditions will start to deteriorate from west to east, kind of depending on where you live. Some of you may get some heavier rain showers. Some may not get a ton of activity from sunrise to noon. But if you're looking at downtown Knoxville for the marathon, conditions will deteriorate. It's going to be rather breezy and gusty, so something to kind of keep in mind if you are going to be running the marathon. Maybe just kind of chunk it down to a half marathon or a 5K, or just go down and support all the marathon runners. But again, we are talking about deteriorating conditions from sunrise through noon on Sunday. Heavy rain by lunchtime across the plateau, upper East Tennessee. We'll start to see these rain showers. The Southern Valley and the Western Valley will start to see the heavier rain showers. This is all going to slow progression. So it doesn't have a fast progression from west to east. It's not going to be racing on through. So therefore, we have a really good solid fetch of moisture from south to north, and that's going to bring us the heavier showers throughout much of the day. So it's going to be a rainy day and a stormy day. Thunderstorms, heavy rain. But by 7 o'clock Sunday night, most of it starts to wind down. And then here comes the colder air. So rainfall amounts, again, not a ton overnight tonight, but through the day tomorrow, 1 to 2 inches, 1 to 2 plus inches. So beneficial rain, no doubt. We need the moisture terribly bad. Actually, I didn't even post it on Thursday, the U.S. Drought Monitor. So I'll get that up here for you here in a second. But again, we do have a risk for flooding and flash flooding because of the heavier rain that we're going to see. So the Weather Prediction Center has put us under a level 1 and a level 2 risk for flooding and flash flooding concerns. As I mentioned, this is beneficial rainfall. Here's the latest drought monitor. This is great news. This is great news. There we go. Let's get that back on there. Great news. We did have a moderate drought from Spring City to Rockwood, Morgan County to parts of Loudoun and McMinn. See if I can get the word out. McMinn counties. Now we have just abnormally dry conditions. So all this rain that we've seen has really helped to mitigate the drought, which is great news. And even though we've got the wind, the humidity's up, the drought's we've got a lot of rain, so the ground's a lot more saturated. So not saturated, if you will, but got more moisture content in it. So we haven't had a lot of elevated fire danger over the last couple of days. By the way, the radar at the top of the screen, what you're looking at is, if you're wondering what that is, that's over in Middle Tennessee. Let me just change that a little bit. So there's Nashville. Maybe you can see that a little bit better. So again, West Tennessee and Nashville is getting some heavier rain showers right now. All right, moving right along from the U.S. Drought Monitor, which we saw improving conditions. Let's continue our forecast for the day today. Forecast high temperatures, for tomorrow. Forecast highs will be in the 60s and 70s, so the rains and the clouds and the storm system is going to bring our temperatures down. Still elevated or slightly above average for the day tomorrow, temperature-wise, but not as hot as it's been over the last couple of days and as it will be for the day today. Good morning, Chris. How are you this morning? All right, so now we continue our forecast on the big picture. So I like to show you the big picture, the synoptic scale of how things kind of play out. So we've talked local. If that's all you need to know, you want to get about your day, go have a great day. It's going to be a great day. But if you want to stick around, here's the general idea. So if you have travel plans to West Tennessee and to Western Kentucky today, keep in mind severe weather is on the way. That's going to continue to slowly slide its way across the state, ever so slowly, really adding insult to injury with all the flooding and flash flooding that's been taking place in West Tennessee and the Mississippi River Valley and Middle Tennessee. We've had a lot of flooding and flash flooding and severe weather in Nashville as well. Then as we get into tomorrow night, that's going to start to slide its way off to our south and southeast. Again, the heaviest rainfall from now through Sunday night. 2 days worth of rainfall. Again, places like Nashville, Memphis could pick it up an additional 4+ inches of rainfall from what we've already seen. So again, keep that in mind. If you are traveling westbound, if you've got tournaments, you've got business meetings, if you're going to see some friends and family members, download the East Tennessee Weather app. It does travel anywhere in the country you travel to. Just allow GPS location services and push notifications, and that will get you all the information that you need to know, and you can check in on the interactive radar, but it will update you on severe weather potential or any sort of inclement weather, no matter where you are across the country. So you can download that, scan the QR code on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, or just log on to easttnweather.com. All right, so let's pick up our timeline Sunday night. Colder air to our north and west, so probably not a lot of hail expected throughout the day tomorrow. Because we don't have a ton of cold air, that starts to swing in Sunday night into Monday. Trough digs its way to the southeast. And so as the western part of the trough moves through, that's going to bring us cold air advection, colder air advecting, moving in to our area, and that's going to drop our temperature. So let's highlight your weekend forecast, a 50-50 weekend. We're talking about temperatures topping out in the mid-80s today, mostly sunny, warm and breezy. going to be a gorgeous day. Then tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms down to 72 degrees. With showers and thunderstorms, strong to severe thunderstorms possible. That can't be ruled out. And then we're going to continue to see those temperatures fall as we get into next week. So as we bring up that 7-day forecast, I know this is what you want to see. Wow, it's going to be chilly. Monday, Tuesday, we're going to have highs in the mid to upper 50s. Frost is going to be forming Tuesday and Wednesday morning, more so on Wednesday, with maybe even a hard freeze in some locations. So I know it's going to be gorgeous today, but don't plant your gardens today. And then next week, we'll start to see those temperatures climb right back into the mid-60s, which is average for this time of year. Cutting East Tennessee in the middle, average high is 68 degrees. I want to take you back outside, show you a live look now. A couple fishermen out there. I know we've got a boating tournament or a fishing tournament on Douglas Lake here this morning, but I got a couple fishermen right there in the cove, right outside of Fox Road Marina. Lakeside, and Lakeside is just off in the distance there. As you can see the docks off in the distance. That'd be Concord Marina and Lakeside Restaurant, which is a great restaurant, by the way. So a nice, gorgeous start to the day. So hopefully you have a good Saturday. Again, we do have a lot of events going on here this weekend, so I wanted to highlight some of those for you here this morning because some of you may want to check in on some of those. See if I can get that back up. Where did it go? There it is. All right, so we're just going to pull this up on the screen here for you. Again, festivals in Knoxville today, and if you have any festivities going on or events going on in your community, please put that in the chat. We got the Chalk Walk today in Market Square. I feel so bad for those artists. They're going to work so hard today, and it's going to be washed away tomorrow. Boo-hoo on that. We've got Dogwood driving trails are opening up. That's cool. And they stay open all the way until April 30th, which, of course, later on, I think I said it yesterday, the Dogwood Arts Festival, I think that's not until like the 25th or something like that. We also have the Knoxville Home and Remodeling Show this weekend at Chilhowie Park. We've got the Spring Outdoor Market, the Southern Market anyways, and we've got the Tree Fest at Caswell Park. Great stuff there. What else do we have? That's all we have this morning. That's all we have today. That's all we have today. Let's see what's going on tomorrow. Of course, we got the marathon. Of course, the Dogwood. We got the Home and Remodeling Show and the Dogwood Driving Trails. Of course, as I mentioned, is open all the way up until April 30th. So some great stuff going on. We got a UT doubleheader today, by the way. Let's see what else do we have going on. Need some coffee. What? Happy Saturday, Aaron. How are you? Got Carol on here as well. Oh, no. Joanne says, good morning, everyone. Love the warm weather, but will confess we turned on the air conditioning. 78 degrees in the house and couldn't sleep. You can't sleep when it's warm outside, right? Or it's warm when it's warm in your house. Just too hard. That's why camping in the East Tennessee in the summertime is just a little bit miserable if you're doing tent camping, by the way. Done that a couple of times up at some of the parks here around town. Did some backpacking back in the day. I used to be a big backpacker. And we went one time, and it was so hot and muggy. We were supposed to do a 3-day backpacking trip, and we canceled it after the first day. What's up, Seth? How are you this morning, bud? Hopefully you have a good Saturday. Let's see. Like everything else in Tennessee, Nashville has all the fun. I suppose so, but I'm friends with some meteorologists over there, and some of their social media reels were cracking me up. Just like, you can't, this won't stop. We need a break over here. They're working just tirelessly, hours upon hours upon hours. Good morning, Christy. How are you this morning? Okay, we got the Commonplace Coffee and Community has a spring market 11 to 2, and I'll be at Marple Springs again, Felicia, there at 10 to 4 for the spring market and the egg hunt. Can you believe, is it next weekend? Is it next weekend or 2 weeks away? Easter. We're going to be camping Easter weekend. So I'll be broadcasting from Little Arrow Resort. That's where we're going to be camping. We've done this. We've done Easter at Little Arrow Resort for like, I don't know, the last 2 or 3, 4 years maybe. Good morning, Patrick. How are you this morning? So again, if you want to do yard work, if you still have leaves outside, maybe this morning, I'm telling you this because this is what I'm going to have to do as well. Blow those leaves and get them raked up first thing. That's the first thing you should do this morning is rake up the leaves and blow the leaves if you still have winter leaves in your yard, which I do. So I got to take my own advice. Do as I say, not as I do. No, do as I say. I'm just telling you because I got to tell myself that too. So get the leaves up now because the wind's going to be blowing. Probably going to blow back into your yard a little bit, but maybe if you can get them tucked away somewhere or put in trash cans. It would be a good time to do that. And then it's just going to be warm and breezy. So I don't know about you, but I'm suffering from some allergies here. I woke up this morning going, oh, geez, what is going on? So, yeah, this wind, all the pollen. You know what's cool too? I always find it fascinating. One day you look outside, we don't even have any leaves on the trees. And literally, like the next day, you walk outside, you're like, whoa, what happened? We have all these leaves on the trees now. I love it. I love it. All right, if you join the broadcast Monday through Friday, you know we do. The national holidays. Got to talk about some national holidays, have a little bit of fun now. And as we do so, I do want to take you outside once again. We'll show you a different camera view. How about let's take you to downtown Gatlinburg this morning. Another live weather camera from East Tennessee that you can get on the app or online at easttnweather.com. I've got them on YouTube as well. But that's downtown Gatlinburg. Look at that. Good morning, Gatlinburg. It's going to be great. Great day for a hike. I always say, listen, if somebody's being rude to you and tells you to take a hike, tell them okay. We've got a beautiful backyard called the Smoky Mountains, and we have so many other places to enjoy some beautiful weather. All right, here are your national holidays. It's April 5th, so of course we like to celebrate birthdays and events. If you're having a birthday today, happy birthday to you. From East Tennessee Weather, myself to you. Hopefully you have a great day today. Any events, of course, we've been talking about on the broadcast already this morning. And if you have more, if you're just now joining in on the chat, of course, you can join in on the chat with Facebook or YouTube. If you're watching on the app this morning, thanks for helping to populate the app. And of course, if you like the app, don't forget to share with all your friends and family, all right, and coworkers, and anybody, neighbors. All right, National Play Outside Day. All right, there we go. Perfect day to play outside. Like I said, go fly a kite today. Great day for that. It's the first Saturday of every month. All right, there we go. First Contact Day, April 1st. Does anybody know about this? We are in space. First Contact Day on April 5th commemorates the fictional date in the future when alien species visits Earth and makes contact with Earthlings for the first time. While the fictional date of 2063 is less than half a generation away, mere humans contemplate the possibilities the further we explore space. Not only do the modern explorers keep our interest piqued, but the science fiction genre continues to pour out stories that thrill and excite us. All right, go watch yourself a little sci-fi movie today, maybe, for First Contact Day. We've got Gold Star Spouses Day. There we go. It's National Flash Drive Day. Do you use a flash drive? Or do you use a micro SD card or an SD card? It's National Nebraska Day. All right. Well, if you're from Nebraska, it's National Nebraska Day. Good on you. National Deep Dish Pizza Day. I'm going to give a big shout out to that. I love deep dish pizza. Chicago-style pizza is really good. There's a couple places in Colorado that we used to go to that had some amazing deep dish pizza. Or I don't know if Big Ed's. Does Big Ed's in Oak Ridge do deep dish pizzas, or is it just pizzas? But Big Ed's, big shout out to Big Ed's in Oak Ridge. Great pizza joint and other pizza joints around town. All right, National Love Our Children Day. How can you not? Some days they test our patience. I get that, but it's National Love Our Children Day. It's also National Read a Roadmap Day. What? Let's get that back up there. Do we read road maps anymore? No, we have GPSs. Do you remember back in the days that we used to have? I mean, listen, when I first started in this business, I was a photographer. And as a photographer, you're driving all around town. And when you moved to different cities, you had to learn the city. You didn't know the city. I remember going to Google back in the day or pulling out a map and having to map everything to go to the city council meeting, to go to this story, to go to that story. Or back in the day, does anybody remember triptychs from AAA? My trip out to California as a senior in high school. A bunch of us took a trip to California as a senior in high school. And we actually had triptychs made from AAA. You literally, every time you got to a different page, you flipped the page. When you got to a city, you could open it up and and then they highlighted your route the entire way. Pretty crazy, right? Oh, how far we have come. National Caramel Day. Better yet, Salted Caramel Day. Some of my favorite candies of all time. I love caramel. And even more so, I love salted caramel. It's National Go for Broke Day. Let's see what that one's about. You're going to climb a National Go for Broke Day on April 5th encourages us to give it our all. No matter our goal, there's a reason to persevere despite all the odds. The phrase "go for broke" has roots in the Hawaiian pidgin, meaning wager everything. All right, our strongest research points to the 442nd Regimental Combat Team in the United States Army as the reason for this day. The 442nd RCT was a regimental-sized fighting unit composed mainly of American soldiers of Japanese descent. They selflessly volunteered to fight in World War II. The 442nd RCT is considered to be the most decorated infantry regiment in history of the United States Army. Go for broke was the 442nd Regiment Combat Team motto. That's cool. See, here on the broadcast, you get to learn about different things. Awesome stuff right there. Let's show you another camera, shall we? We'll take it to downtown Clinton here at this hour. Big shout out to Anderson County and downtown Clinton. Great place. You want to go for a nice little hike? Have you been to Aspire Park? If you join me on social media, the Witchers are at Aspire Park a lot. Great food, great restaurant, great stuff to do. Hiking, biking, BMX biking. They've got zip lines and a huge park for the kids. If you've never been to Aspire Park, it's literally just to the right of that camera. Which, by the way, what a gorgeous sunrise taking shape now in downtown Clinton and all of East Tennessee. Of course, we will do national holidays tomorrow morning on Sunday morning because now we do a live morning broadcast 7 days a week. Say what? We do, my friends. So let's see. What's up, Brian? How are you? Yes, sir. Brian Barger, everybody. Used to be my morning producer over at the TV station for years. Brian and I have known each other for a long time. So what you're saying is that I need to mow the yard today and not wait until tomorrow. Yes. And actually, if you fertilize, now I don't fertilize my yard. My wife is always like, why do we not? We will never have the greenest yard in the world because I refuse to fertilize because all that stuff goes in the groundwater. I'm not trying to get political. That's just my personal opinion. But if you fertilize, maybe today's a good day to fertilize. I'm not an expert on fertilization, but I know you want to put it down before rain, right? Maybe if we get too much rain, then the fertilization kind of goes away. Fertilizer goes away, and we're going to get a lot of rain tomorrow. So maybe not the best day to fertilize. I don't know, but maybe a good day to fertilize. But yes, go mow your yard. We do have patches. So Baylor, calling Baylor, my neighbor. I know you're planning on mowing here soon. I haven't gotten a text from you, by the way. When are you coming to mow my yard? I've hired the neighborhood kid to mow my yard. And I got to give him a hard time. Got to support him because I had a lawn business for, 4.5 years? All through high school. Let's see. I guess it was the summer before my freshman year of high school, all the way through my senior year. I had a mowing business every summer. I worked at a car wash. I made sandwiches. I had some odd jobs back in the day. It's 2 weeks. 2 weeks away for Easter. Thanks, Julie. I appreciate that. Easter is the 20th, April 20th this year. Nice. So we're going to be camping that weekend. Let's see. Deborah says, the husband just wants to go fishing this morning. What's going to happen in Bean Station, Mike? Thanks in advance. Yeah, it's going to be great. Now, of course, this morning, get out there. But as the day progresses, the wind is going to pick up, and so it's going to be a little bit more rough out there. But again, with falling pressure, as the cold front nears our area, probably good days for fishing. That's what they say. What's up, Ashley? How are you? Attended the Skywarn Storm Spotter program training. Nice. And Ashley, now that you've done the Storm Spotter training with the National Weather Service, which, by the way, I should check in on some of those Skywarn Storm Spotter programs. See if they have any other ones coming up here soon. Let's see. But anyways, Ashley, if you would like to join Witcher's Weather Watchers, now that you are a storm spotter with the National Weather Service, you can. Hit me up, Mike at easttnweather.com. Send me your phone number. I'll send you a link to a private chat, and you can join the 40-plus Skywarn Storm Spotter affiliate, official Witcher Weather Watcher group, which is a great group of people, an amazing group of people. And one of the first places that I actually look for weather information during severe or inclement weather, and they're chatting all the time. Hey, how much rain did you get? I got 2 inches of rain, so it's great. All right, so actually we do have some great Storm Spotter programs coming up. Let's get this on the. So we have Knox County coming up April 7th. So at 6 p.m. and you need to register. And if anybody's interested in taking those Storm Spotter programs, let me go ahead and put this in the chat here this morning. Let me put this in the chat for you. All right, I'm going to drop this in the chat right now. So I've got links to the National Weather Service. They want you to go out and actually pre-register so they know how many folks are going to be coming out. But Knox County is April 7th. Sevier County is April 8th. Greene County, April 22nd. Morgan County, April 24th. Union County, April 28th. And Unicoi County, May 8th. So if you are interested in becoming a Skywarn Storm Spotter with the National Weather Service, the link is in the chat. If you are interested in joining the Witchers Weather Watchers, send me an email Mike at easttnweather.com, your phone number, and your certificate that you've taken the course. And of course, you can do the course virtually as well if that's something you're interested in. And then you can be part of this exclusive Storm Spotter group here in East Tennessee, which is great. It's not just about a chat and helping me with information during severe weather coverage, but you can actually join in on live severe weather if you want to. We've only had a couple folks do it over the years. That's okay. You're not forced to. No, not too many people want to be on TV. I get that. But if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Mike at easttnweather.com. Send me an email. By the way, your gardens. Something to keep in mind because we're expecting frost next week. Your gardens. I know it's going to be great today, but you may not want to plant your gardens today. Do have some great photos. The sign of spring. Oh, that's a little weenie of one. Let's get that bigger, shall we? So you can send photos to me, whether that's spring photos, family photos, doesn't matter, through the Witchers Pictures link. How about that? That, my friends, is a sign of spring, and that photo right there is autopilot. The cherry blossoms. The cherry blossoms. Awesome stuff right there. So thanks, Otto. Of course, we had the cherry blossom festivals and stuff going on. And lots of stuff going on. Ooh, pizza. Jennifer Howard, I love pizza too. Let's see. I'm increasingly dismayed by the super early summertime temperatures. What happened to East Tennessee Springs? Well, we're going to feel that tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. How about Tuesday, Wednesday morning? Where it's going to feel like spring in East Tennessee, right? The weather pattern is always up and down this time of the year. We never want to get too hot too soon, but here we are. Definitely feeling more like summer. Big Ed's, there we go. Godfather's Pizza. There used to be one over off of Western. Was it Western Avenue? Not Western Avenue. Maybe Western Avenue. Not Western. Cedar Lane area. Anyways. In Northwest Knox, and there used to be a Godfather's at the gas station. I grew up on Godfather's Pizza, by the way. Is there another Godfather's here in town? And Mel's like, I used paper maps, and I still use them, and triptychs. I've stashed yours away. I've stashed mine. Nice. Let's see. I remember Milkmaids and Brock's to make caramel apples. Awesome. We also have the Tulip Festival, by the way, going on at Oaks Farm. I think it's the Tulip Festival. That's going on this weekend. You're welcome, Ruth. I sure hope you have a great day. And we got Saturday, April 12th. We've got the orange and white game, by the way. What just happened? My TV just turned off here. That was weird. Still broadcasting, though. All right, here we are. That Merchant Drive. There we go, Brian. Thank you very much. Merchant's Drive. There we go. Up and down and all around is right. That is springtime, my friends, and that's what we do here in East Tennessee. Oh, man, I sure hope you have a great day. Listen, don't forget to download the app. Scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Okay, log on to easttnweather.com. Go like and subscribe to everything. I'm on YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire. Remember, you can put East Tennessee weather up on the big screen in your family room, living room, bathroom, businesses, restaurants. I'm populating in restaurants all over East Tennessee, so it's great to see East Tennessee weather in restaurants and businesses. Don't forget YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and all social media. I do appreciate you here on this Saturday. It is 7:38. We talked a lot this morning. I talked a lot. You didn't say a word. Thanks. Grab some iced coffee this morning. I sure hope you have a great day. Get some things done outdoors today because the rain is on the way and heavy rain tomorrow. And good luck to UT baseball today. Double header. You're heading off to the baseball game. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. And if you are joining on the app and you missed any of the forecast at the beginning, you joined in a little bit late, I'll send you back to the 24-hour channel on the app. So if you missed some of it, just go to EastTN, just open up the app, and I'll send you right back to the 24-hour channel here in just a second. All right, be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock.